This is the Bintac T9 Airgun. This is a super compact, backpackable, semi-automatic 35 cal airgun. This is the first time I've shot this, so I'm really excited to put it through its paces. We're gonna shoot some gel blocks. We'll do a little bit of accuracy testing and give you some Chrono readings and stuff like that. We're gonna put together a very special bundle for you guys that includes a suppressor for it, and it will include a nice red dot sight. So today we're gonna demonstrate the performance of the GoGun T9 bundle. Quiets it down quite a bit. We've embedded 3 pieces of 1/2-inch ply in here, and I think it creates a really cool quantifiable test because you can count the number of gourds that the projectile crashes through. We're gonna dump a full 9-round magazine into that gel block at 10 yards. I'm gonna blast this thing, showcase its semi-auto capability, and we got the suppressor attached here so we can shoot this inside without hearing protection. Here we go. Wow, it looks like some of the, let me wipe that off a little bit. It looks like the pellets are actually crashing into the second wood panel here, and they're bouncing halfway back because you can see their wound channel. This shot is probably the most interesting one to me because you can see just how much penetration this gun and 35 cal pellet can do. Even after it's hit one board, you still get about 15 inches of penetration, and that's pretty incredible. One thing's for sure, any kind of zombie that gets hit with this thing is not gonna make it. Okay, a lot of you already have PCP air guns, but I like to do a little segment for those of you who this is your first one and you don't quite know how to put air in, or you're just curious about it. Here I have a PCP air compressor. We sell these. I'll put a link down below, but this is essentially how all of these things work. So with your gun, you will get a fill probe, and this will, match your gun. Although, AEA, who makes these, they have, a couple different models of this, but this is an 8mm. So you can stick this into the end of your quick connect fitting on your compressor line. And once that's locked in, you can just push it into your gun. It doesn't screw in or anything. You just give it a nice push and it'll stay in there. Okay, so how do you start up the compressor? The first thing you want to do is make sure your pressure set point is right. So once this gun gets up to pressure, it'll automatically turn off. So take a look at this gauge. There's a black line down here that shows what the current pressure is. And if you use this little needle in here, you can nudge the red needle. We're going to nudge it over to about 4,500 PSI because we want to fill this gun up to about 4,500 PSI. So, okay. So now we've got that set. We're ready to turn this thing on. So I'm going to just make sure the bleed valve is open. I'm going to turn it on. That just starts the fan up, but the compressor is not running yet. So to get the compressor running, we hit start. Not allowed. And right now the air is coming out the bleed valve. So now we're going to load the compressor. We're going to direct the air into the gun by closing the bleed valve. So we're going to close this. All right, now it's closed. The air is going into the gun. Take a look at the gauge here. You'll start to see this black line go up. That's mostly pressurizing the line. It's just building up to the tank pressure of the gun. We already have air in there, so it's going to go up pretty quickly. But okay, so now we've reached the pressure of the gun. It's going to start moving a lot slower. So now we can walk away from the gun. It'll automatically turn off once it reaches that 4,500 PSI pressure. And this one will probably take maybe 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. So we can take a little break and come back to it when it's off. Okay, so we've reached pressure. You can see that the pump has switched the green light to the red light, so the gun is pressurized now. So how do you take this all apart? Well, the first thing you're going to do is release the bleed valve. So this is going to bleed out all the pressure in this line. It's nice and slow. Okay, so now the line is depressurized, and you can just pull the fill probe out like this. Comes out nice and easy, and the air just stays in the air tanks. There's a check valve in every gun that only lets air go in the fill port but not come out. So there's nothing special you need to do there. You just pull the fill probe out and you're pressurized. Okay, we're gonna do a shot string now. I'm gonna go through 2 full magazines. We're pressurized up to 4,500 PSI. Got the chronograph installed. Here we go. Now it's time for the distance test. We're really only sighted in for like 10 meters, or 10 yards, so I'm gonna have to probably do a little bit of holdover there, but you know, we'll see how we are, and let's get shooting. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's actually sighted in really well. I don't know if I have to do any holdover here. Yeah, okay, I was holding over too much. Yeah. Me? Right. Spot. Okay. Okay, cool. Better than I expected. That's great. Okay, not too bad. Baseball size grouping. I was kind of hitting this thing while it was swinging a little bit, so could probably do a little bit better than that. But yeah, there was way less drop off than I expected. So I'm pretty happy with that.
50 yards?
50 yards. 50 yards, yeah. Pretty good. The T9. Final thoughts on the Bintac T9. I got to admit, when I first saw this, I thought it looked a little weird with the 2 air tanks, but after shooting it for a while, I've come to really appreciate the amount of control and stability that you get by having that hand placement there. So I've kind of warmed up to it. I really like it now. The folding stock is great. Breaks down to be super compact, which is really impressive for a semi-auto 35 cal gun. It's got the replaceable magazines. They hold 8 shots, and they're metal. So for those of you that hate the plastic magazines, these ones will hold up to a lot more abuse. We clocked this at 130 joules, 96 foot-pounds. So it's got a lot of power, and we're offering a bundle. So you get the suppressor, the red dot sight, and the T9 all together. Great little package to get set up with your T9. Check out the links below, and that's all for today.